Hate Army General saying hate Army shit. Hate Army. If your name is Hate Army?
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Ahem. I was catching up on your Dead Space playthrough, and I agree with your statement about those who label things woke. It probably says more about them than anything else. You then made a point that Kendra having a girlfriend isn't intrusive to the plot, which makes me think. Isaac's whole narrative is to find Nicole, which we don't consider to be intrusive. But say if he was looking for his boyfriend, would that suddenly make the story woke? Food for thought. No. That's not even food for thought. No. In real life, there are relationships that are heterosexual and relationships that are homosexual.
Football niggas is gay. The basketball niggas is gay. There's millions of gay people.
There are people who are of male and female genders. There are people who consider themselves trans and therefore, you know, either they're transitioning from one to another. There's people who like people of various different genders.
Fucking quiz!
And like both genders, right? It doesn't, none of that matters. In the narrative of a horror game, where the whole point is, oh, we're going to a space station to find out what happened on this disaster, you know, all you need to know is that these people care about other people and want to rescue them. That's literally it. It doesn't matter if I'm straight, if I'm gay, if I'm bi, who cares? That literally doesn't factor in to the point. If the point of the game was relationships and genders and things like that, that was the actual game plot, that would be one thing. It's not. It's superfluous to anything. And the point is that today, it's becoming way more mainstream accepted and talked about that these kind of relationships exist. Finally, people can acknowledge, hey, I'm gay and that's okay. I don't have to hide because I'm afraid that I'm going to be treated like shit by society and beaten to a pulp and, you know, fucked with because I'm gay.
He's a fag.
Right? That's good. That's good that there's acceptance now. Okay? Now, does that mean at the same time that every character in every video game should be gay? No. It should be realistic. Where some people will be, some people won't. There'll be people of different, I don't know how you want to say it. What's the word for it?
In your circle, I'm sure you got all kinds of gays and trans whatevers of all stripes.
But you know what I'm saying? It should all be accepted and it's fine. Yes, if you push it one way too much to this side or the other, that's too much, for sure. There has to be balance. It has to be realistic. I find it realistic that in Dead Space Remake, one of the characters has a girlfriend. Big deal. It's a female who has a girlfriend. I don't care. It doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. If it did, it says more about me than anything else, right? And that's fine. If literally every character in Dead Space Remake was gay, now I'd be like, now wait a minute. That's not realistic to real life. Why is that? Why are they portraying it like that in the game? You see? That's the difference. Has to be realistic. And that I appreciate that they actually have some realism in the game with that. Just like I appreciate Isaac's older and Nicole are older. Because in the original Dead Space, Isaac's supposed to be a guy who's been an engineer for a long time. He was in the Merchant Marines. He's highly accredited. And he looks like he's 20. Right? He looks like he's a young dude. Same thing with Nicole. Nicole's supposed to be one of the head doctors on the Ishimura. Why does she look like she's 19? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Right? Now in this, they made them older. Good. Now it makes sense. They're older. They're accredited adults. And the plot makes more sense. So I'm okay with those changes. Look at Tell Me Why from a few years ago, how they handled a trans character. It wasn't their defining trait, but it was a small note and they didn't dwell on it. Exactly. I love to Tell Me Why. I thought the story was really good. I really liked the writing and everything. You know, it wasn't exactly the most riveting gameplay, but it was a really uniquely told story. And it was believable. And it wasn't, you know, all about... You notice not every character in Tell Me Why was beating up the trans character.
Personally, I'm Jewish, I'm a trans woman, and I'm queer. And those are related.
Oh, because, you know, everyone is so horrible towards trans people, which is what the whole theme was of Life is Strange 2. Oh, because they were, you know, not white. Everyone in America's a racist. Beat them up, right? That shit I can't take, because that's just so stupid. So skewed to one direction, right? It was super... I thought Tell Me Why was really good. I will give them credit. They were a really good writing team. So, Mateo tipped me $1. He says, Iceman from Marvel is actually known as being gay. They never really dwelled on it, and it was never the main aspect of his character. That was awesome. In the modern comics, it seems like now they're basing his character completely off of it, and it feels woke and bad writing. I didn't even know that when I was reading X-Men. I had no idea. So maybe at that point, he hadn't even come out in the comics yet. In which case, who cares? Because, right, it's not a part of the plot. Who cares if he's gay or not, right? I didn't even know that. Again, if you are reading a story or playing a game and the whole point is like gender identity or relationships, then it makes sense for that kind of stuff to be the focus. But if you're playing a game like survival horror and okay, so the woman has a girlfriend, big deal. Okay, it's natural, fine. That's fine. It's not pushing an agenda down your throat. Sounds good to me. Continue on. No problem, right? And I'm totally good with that. It's only the games that really push these agendas way too far. Like I said, like the racism agenda of Life is Strange 2, where literally every group the brothers encounter are racist against them. Like literally every one. You couldn't even find a group that didn't hate them. It's like, what is going on in this? So again, I can't comment on the comics. I don't know how to read them, but as long as it's done tastefully and as long as it's not shoved down your throat, that's fine.